Happy Friday, everybody. In fact, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can see the weekend from here. It is the 10th day of January, 2025. It is Friday. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Get ready for a very fast-moving weather system. It's coming in as we speak, but by the end of the day today, by about sunset, around 5 o'clock tonight, it'll be gone that quick. But while it's here, we're going to get a little bit of everything. A little rain-snow mix here in the Wenatchee Valley, maybe a little bit of freezing rain in the next half hour to hour or so if you're watching this live edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Rain, snow, maybe a little bit of freezing rain. There's a better chance of that happening out in the Columbia Basin as far as freezing rain is concerned. Then it switches over to just plain rain, and then it ends, and then the winds pick up, and the clouds clear out, and the sun comes up. And we'll be getting near 40 degrees. All of that's going to happen over the next 9 hours or so, and then that's it. It'll be out of here, and then we're in for a very nice weekend. If you like sunny and mild temperatures, and I for one do, those details are coming up. And outside of this little weather event, again, this is a very fast-moving cold front that's coming through. Once it's in and out of here by the end of the day today, that's kind of it for weather. I mean, we have weather. That's about the only real event that's causing any concern, although it's going to snow quite a bit in the Cascades. Not a lot, but enough to make things a little on the dicey side. Forecast details are on the way, as is the news. Of course, it is Friday in January. Yeah, we got a lot of sports. Cougars formally introduced their new head football coach yesterday. He took the job back on December 28th, signed a 5-year contract, but his actual introductory news conference was held yesterday. We'll have highlights of that and everything else you need to know. It's a lot of sports going on this weekend. A lot of things going on in Dave Erickson's world, too. Dave is the City of Wenatchee's Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. We check in with Dave every once in a while. If you're an artist, there's some grant money out there for you to be had for art projects to make our already beautiful valley even more beautiful. Dave will talk about that and a few other odds and ends as well. It's always good to talk to Dave. We visited with Dave at the Pybus Public Market a couple of days ago. We'll have that conversation for you in the back half of the program. You don't want to miss it. Here's a quick slide from the National Weather Service. You're going to say, hey, wait a minute, doesn't that look a lot like yesterday's slide? It does. They just made that little pinkish area slightly larger, and that pinkish area is what we were talking about at the top of the show. That's that wintry mix of the possibility of light freezing rain in that pinkish area. And again, the better chance of light freezing rain is for you folks out in the Columbia Basin, between Moses Lake and Ritzville and on north to the Highway 2 corridor, Waterville to Davenport to Wilbur, Douglas, that kind of area. You could get some light freezing rain this morning before it dissipates. We're probably going to have something more in the form of a rain-snow mix in the Wenatchee Valley. And as you can see on the far left-hand side of your screen, the passes are going to get pretty good, and so is the Idaho Panhandle. They're going to get quite a bit of snow, but the lee of the Cascades, we're on the dry side of that, is going to protect us from any significant precipitation. Again, this is a very fast-moving weather system, and it's also going to make things maybe a little breezy at times this afternoon, and then lots of sunshine for everybody and pretty dry conditions from the National Weather Service. Without any further ado, here you go. While you look at that, I'll tell you a couple of quick things. Yesterday's high was 32. Our normal high, 32. It was a normal day as far as January 9th was concerned. Sunrise this morning will be at 7:46. Sunset tonight, 4:31. That's 8 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. That's 1 minute and 40 seconds more daylight than we had yesterday. Always got to look on the bright side. So again, a little chance of some rain, snow, and freezing rain all mixed together. It'll all be done by about 11 a.m. Right now, the snow level's at 800 feet. That's us. But it's going to go up to 3,500 feet by the afternoon. Again, gradual clearing, too. We'll have some sunshine by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll top off close to 40 degrees. Mostly clear tonight, breezy, 29 for the overnight low. The wind, as this system exits, is going to make the wind chill feel pretty chilly because we got clear skies and windy conditions. It'll cut right through your clothes. And then a beautiful stretch of weather Saturday. Lots of sunshine, high of 43. Couple of clouds forming Saturday night, 29 for the overnight low. We do it all over again on Sunday. Lots of sunshine, about 42. And then we cool down a little bit, but we're still going to have lots of sunshine. We're going to be under the influence of a ridge of high pressure starting on Saturday, and it looks like it's going to be hanging around for most of the next work week with temperatures slightly above normal by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with no precipitation in the forecast. All right, after a 2-minute break, so you can go grab your cup of coffee or wherever else that you need, come right back and we'll have the news for you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts. Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Have you ever played that game, What Would You Rather, where you give 2 options to see what your friend would choose? Well, let's try it. What would you rather? Would you rather have a telemarketer from a foreign call center named David, or a local North Central Washington agent who has been helping folks for over 20 years on Medicare and has 5 offices to serve you, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, what would you rather? Now give us a call at Springwater Insurance. Our phone number, 509-888-2600.
30 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. Light rain, snow mix this morning. It tapers off by about 11. Sunshine and windy this afternoon. This is a very quick-moving cold front that's already beginning to make its presence felt. It'll be gone by the end of the day today, and then bountiful sunshine and very mild temperatures for this upcoming weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A 2-car collision on Highway 28 in Soap Lake last night has claimed the life of a Soap Lake resident. According to the Washington State Patrol, at about 7:30 last night, 39-year-old Jessica H. Olkey of Soap Lake was driving a 2011 Chevy Tahoe westbound on the highway when her vehicle was struck on the driver's side by a 2018 Mustang being driven by 59-year-old George B. Martin of Moses Lake. Apparently, the Mustang failed to stop at the stop sign with the highway and Road 19 Northwest. Olkey was not wearing a seatbelt. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Martin was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane with serious injuries. Martin may face charges of driving under the influence. Sewer customers in the Old Station area, congratulations. You can flush your toilet again. You can resume regular water use. Of course, earlier this week, the city of Wenatchee requested that they cut down on their water use because, well, they had a portion of a broken sewer main break. Well, they fixed it. They got it repaired. A new section of pipe has been installed. On Tuesday, of course, the city requested customers in the Old Station, Chatham Hill, and Sunny Slope areas that they limit their sewer discharges after they discovered the broken sewer main. According to our media partner, the Wenatchee World, the broken main caused a sinkhole of about 20 feet deep. Now that you can flush your toilet and all that stuff again, the area of Old Station Road between Eisenhart Avenue and Euclid Avenue is still closed. It's going to remain closed into the next week because, well, they got to put the road back together again, not to mention the surrounding areas. A Federal Way woman is charged with theft and other counts after allegedly shoplifting thousands of dollars worth of goods from a Leavenworth store. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies arrested 35-year-old Elena Velku on Friday afternoon after surveillance video appeared to show her and others in her group making off with a $1,300 handbag, a $600 sweater, a $250 bracelet, and other items from a downtown Leavenworth shop. The store owner reported the theft one day earlier. Deputies say they located Velku sledding at the Leavenworth Golf Course. They found her on Friday, still wearing the stolen sweater and the bracelet. Her alleged accomplices, they don't know where they are yet. Velku is charged with organized retail theft, possessing stolen property, and making false statements to police for allegedly giving a phony name. She was allowed to go free on Monday on her own recognizance. She has to appear in Chelan County Court next week. A rural Okanagan County man is jailed after allegedly opening fire on a police drone with a stolen firearm. Sheriff's deputies say 34-year-old Justin Samuel Williams fired a weapon Sunday during a dispute at his family's home near Mount Hull. That's just east of Oroville. That led police, including a Chelan County tactical team, to respond to the home, but Williams allegedly fled into the woods before they arrived. Police deployed a drone above his location. Then they say Williams began shooting at the drone and damaged the drone. Police overpowered him, took him into custody. Williams is a convicted felon. That means he is barred from carrying a firearm. Deputies say the weapon had been stolen from a nearby residence. The Wenatchee City Council and the Wenatchee Planning Commission are holding a joint work session next week to discuss the city's growth and development. The session will focus on the 2026 Periodic Comprehensive Plan Update process, which is a foundational document that guides the city over a 20-year period. The plan is updated periodically to reflect evolving community needs, state regulations, and regional goals. During the work session, the council and the commission will discuss key areas, housing market conditions and needs, and identify opportunities for community engagement and input. The session will be held January 16th at 5:15 at the City Hall Chambers. Chelan County is holding an open house next week to present information about Phase 1 of their Totem Pole project. This is a pretty big one. The project is scheduled to start in the spring of next year. It's expected to provide adequate travel lane widths and safe walking and biking options. Phase 1 of the project includes drainage and safety improvements from Lake Chelan north to Harris Avenue and then to Totem Pole Road. Construction for Phase 1 will cost about $4 million. The entire project is going to cost about $8 million. The open house, Manson High School, Thursday, January 16th from 5 to 6:30. Local firefighters from Wenatchee and Chelan have been deployed to the greater Los Angeles area to help fight those devastating wildfires. The last of us this morning, 10 people have been killed. Over 200,000 people have been forced to flee their homes. Wenatchee Valley Fire and Chelan Fire and Rescue are joining departments throughout our state to assist in the firefighting efforts. Captain Taylor Rains and firefighters Brandon Fogelson, Stephanie Preheim, and Duke Odenreiter, they're heading to California from Chelan. From Wenatchee, Chief Brian Brett told us it's firefighters Sean Clark, George Ramos, Cole Clark, and Jordan Coons. They left for California on Wednesday. And on New Year's Day, an East Wenatchee couple welcomed not only a new year, but a new member of their family. It's the first baby of the new year in our area. Rachel and Sam Frasonke welcomed their daughter Quinn Riley on New Year's Day, New Year's morning actually, 3:35 in the morning. It always seems to happen that way. 8 pounds, 14 ounces, 22 inches long at the Wenatchee Midwife Service and Childbirth Center. Although Rachel had a few false alarms, she delivered Quinn after her original New Year's Eve due date. The Frasonke's have moved to East Wenatchee, by the way, in September. They say they've been warmly welcomed by their neighbors who congratulated them and offered support on their new arrival. Look at the cute little baby. Yeah, that's the way to close the news for the week, isn't it? And that is the news on this Friday. We still have a newscast to do. We're not done yet. We'll have a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock with Grant Olson in the anchor chair. He also does the weather forecasting because he knows more about it than I do. Eric Granston with sports, 5, 6, and 10 on television. That doesn't work in your schedule. You can watch it anytime you want, starting right around 5 o'clock. That's when we have the news up and posted on the internet. So you can go to our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube page and check out the news at your own convenience. And if there's something out there you think is newsworthy, you send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. There is a lot of sports to get to In 2 minutes, you'll find out I'm not lying. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
"17 minutes after the hour in sports, the Kraken and the Blue Jackets were tied after 1 period, but they play 3 periods. In the NHL, and Columbus erupted in the second period. They scored 4 unanswered goals in 12 minutes and 16 seconds. That forced Kraken goaltender Philip Grubauer from the ice, and the Kraken started their 5-game road trip with a 6-2 loss last night. They'll be in Buffalo to take on the Sabres tomorrow afternoon at 1. Women's college basketball last night. Eastern Washington got by Portland State 78-49. Washington State took care of business against St. Mary's. The final there was 66-57. As far as the men's are concerned, Washington suffers their worst loss in 22 years. They were never in this. In East Lansing, Michigan, the 16th-ranked Spartans crushing the Huskies 88-54. It took overtime, but Pacific upsets Washington State 95-94. Portland State got by Eastern Washington in men's college basketball last night 64-59. Well, you probably know by now, but the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame with a last-second field goal sneaks by Penn State 27-24. They win the Capital One Orange Bowl, and it's off to the national championship game January 20th in Atlanta. Who will they play? We'll know tonight. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic kicks off at 4:30 on ESPN. The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns. All right, prep scores from last night. In girls, apparently Easton didn't either show up or doesn't have a team. I'm not sure, but Cascade boys and girls both beat Easton by forfeits. That means in the world of prep basketball, you get 1 point per half. Moses Lake Christian snuck by Liberty Christian, Wilson Creek, and Cascade Christian. Not exactly an offensive blowout there in girls basketball. In boys basketball, more points being scored. But again, Moses Lake Christian got by Liberty Christian. Cascade Christian beat Wilson Creek in boys basketball last night. Good night for Kashmir Wrestling. The Grapplers had no problems in a triple dual meet against South Central Athletic Conference opponents Cornell, Kiona Benton, and College Place. Kashmir Wrestlers win all 3 of those matches. Nice victory on the home mats for the Wenatchee Panthers. They beat Davis 42-34 in wrestling. Ellensburg got by Quincy, and Ephrata defeated Sela on the maps last night. So that's what happened. Here's what's going to happen. Men's college basketball, Eastern travels down to Sacramento State tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. ESPN Plus, the Cougars and Gonzaga. This will be pretty cool. That'll be at 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus. I'm looking forward to that. And then on Sunday, Washington continues their road trip. They'll be in Ann Arbor to take on the 24th ranked Wolverines, 11 a.m. Sunday morning on the big 10 Network. All right, to preps, the girls basketball schedule. Yeah, there's a lot. Wenatchee girls still looking for their first league victory. They'll host Eisenhower at 5:30. Also at 5:30, it's Eastmont and Moses Lake, and Ephrata at Toppenish. 5:45 tip-off, Cashmere at Wahluke, Tenasket at Omak. At 6 o'clock, the Chelan girls and Manson girls will get going. So will Colville and Okanagan, Bridgeport and Lake Roosevelt. Liberty Bell welcomes Brewster at 6 o'clock. Aniat and Soap Lake will do battle at 6 o'clock. 7:30 tip-off as Waterville Mansfield hosts Pateros in girls basketball today. Boys basketball today. Yep, pretty much the same schedule, only just a little bit later. Moses Lake Christian and Orville get things going at 6 o'clock. Same time tip-off for Waterville, Mansfield, and Pateros boys. 7 o'clock tip-off for the Cadets and the Panthers at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium, Eastmont and Moses Lake. Ephrata at Toppenish. 7:15, Cashmere and Wahluke will do battle. Same deal with Tenasket and Omak. 7:30 tip-off for Chelan and Manson, and Colville at Okanagan, and Bridgeport at Lake Roosevelt, and Brewster at Liberty Bell, and Soap Lake at Aniat. That's today. Tomorrow, yeah, more basketball. A little bit lighter schedule. 3:30 in the afternoon, Quincy will be at Prosper, and Chelan will take on Cashmere. Remember when that was a league game? That's at 3:45. Brewster will take on Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls at 4 o'clock. We will have the Davis girls and the Eastmont girls at 4:30 on the NCWLIFE channel with Grant Olson on the call. Also at 4:30 in Big 9 play, Moses Lake at West Valley, Omak at Kettle Falls, Okanagan and Waterville Mansfield at 4:30, and Jenkins out of Chewelah will take on Orville in girls basketball tomorrow at 4:30. Boys basketball schedule on Saturday. Pretty much just like the ladies, just later on in the day. Okanagan will be at Waterville Mansfield at 3 o'clock, Omak at Kettle Falls at 3 o'clock, Quincy and Prosper at 5 o'clock. Once again, we will have the Davis and Eastmont game at 6 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel with Grant Olson with the call. Also, Brewster will take on Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls, and the other nightcap is Moses Lake at West Valley, also at 6 o'clock. Well, the Cougars made it official. Oh, yeah, we got basketball. Can't forget about that. Basketball tomorrow, Grant Olson with the call. The #1 Davis Pirates girls. The Davis Pirates girls are the #1 ranked team in the WIAA RPI Index. They'll take on the Eastmont girls. They'll tip off at 4:30. The boys, the Davis boys, are #4 in this week's WIAA RPI Index. They'll take on the Eastmont boys the second half of the doubleheader at 6 o'clock. Both games with Grant Olson on the call live right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Yes, the Cougars did make it official yesterday. They introduced Jimmy Rogers as their new head football coach. Athletic director Ann McCoy did the honors in front of players and boosters.
It is my extreme pleasure and honor to introduce to you our 35th football coach at Washington State University, Coach Jimmy Rogers.
Well, thanks, Ann, and thank you guys for coming out. I'm blessed. I'm excited to be the 35th head coach here at Washington State. I promise you I'll get the whole staff and I'll learn the fight song and the hand motions.
We promised you only.
Yeah, I know. They were trying to hide me with Butch over there. They gave me a whole, I'll get it down. But I'm blessed to be here. And I got a ton of people that I'd like to thank. And I'll start with my family. My wife, Haley, my daughter, Reese, my son, Trace. Really a light in my life, something that's really a rock in this coaching world. This is a hard journey. It's hard. There's a lot of sacrifice that the families go through, and I'm blessed. They've been unbelievable throughout this journey. My wife has done this since I was a graduate assistant at South Dakota State, so she knows what it's like to watch somebody fold laundry in the laundry room and go up and break down film for 18 hours out of the day. And so I've been blessed to have unbelievable support.
The 37-year-old Rogers was the head coach of South Dakota State the past couple of seasons. His record 27-3, and the Jackrabbits won the FCS championship. In the 2023 season, Rogers took the job on December 28th, signed a 5-year contract, replacing, of course, Jake Dickert, who left Wazoo for Wake Forest before the Cougars played in the Holiday Bowl game. An emotional Rogers told the assembled that Wazoo and Pullman is a special place.
Washington State is a special place. Land-Grant University, a university that's really built on people and opportunity and hard work and a commitment and toughness, and that's kind of what the program I just left. I know what that is, and I know what what it's like doing in a community that's really bought into one thing. Pullman is Washington State, and Washington State is Pullman, and I am blessed to be here. I believe in this brand. It was one of the first things I said to Ann is, this place is awesome. If you could think about seeing Washington State as a kid for the last 320 weeks on College game day, not a lot of places have that type of national recognition. 19 bowl games, 4 Rose Bowls. But I also believe that this program has so much more to give, and I look forward to tirelessly working this program into becoming a national contender. I didn't come here to lose, and nor to this coaching staff. I believe in this. I believe in this. And we're going to do everything that we can to get on the top of college football. It just happened last year with a conference opponent making the college playoff, and I just, as I told the team last night, don't think it can't be you.
By the way, he's taking most of his old team with him. 16 players, all but one from South Dakota State, have announced that they are transferring to Wazoo since Rogers took over. Finally, can't forget about the Wenatchee Wild. They've won 6 of their last 8. They're starting to put together some pretty good hockey. They're at home this weekend. They got Victoria tonight at 7 o'clock. Spokane comes to town tomorrow at 6. It's Guns and Hoses night. The doors tomorrow open at 3:30. Guns and Hoses. That's law enforcement against firefighters playing hockey. That game starts at 4. The Wild and the Chiefs will drop the puck at 6 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 26 minutes after the hour, 7 holidays that you can celebrate if you are so inclined to do so. It's Majority Rule Day in the Bahamas. So I guess since we're not in the Bahamas, we can't celebrate that. By the way, it's going to be sunny and 70 in the Bahamas today. Thought I'd throw that out there. It's National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. It's National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. It's National Oysters Rockefeller Day. It's Save the Eagles Day. It's Peculiar People Day, which is pretty much everybody I know. But today, we celebrate the houseplant. It's National Houseplant Day. Today, almost all houseplants, almost all of them come from the tropics because, well, your home is usually warmer than it is outside this time of the year, so you want plants that thrive in mild climates, and that would be your home. People have been growing plants indoors since plants have been around, since people have had indoors. They've been growing indoor plants. Indoor plants remove air pollution, they remove allergens, they absorb sound, they reduce stress. In fact, they did an actual study on this. Offices with lots of indoor plants all over the place, those offices tend to have higher rates of productivity. Plants really do enjoy music. They grow better because music is being played around them. Most houseplants, not all, but most houseplants are pretty easy to maintain. Not that hard, but don't forget to dust your houseplant every once in a while, especially this time of the year, because you don't want their pores to clog. Happy National Houseplant Appreciation Day today. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Take a look at this river. Not real impressive, is it? What is it, about ankle deep? That's the Rubicon in northern Italy. And on January 10th, 49 BC, that would make it, 2,074 years ago, Julius Caesar crosses the Rubicon. The Roman Senate was a little worried about Jerry Caesar. He was the governor of that particular section. That was what he was in charge of, but he was building up armies and getting people all agitated, and they said, well, when his term was over as governor of this particular piece of real estate in northern Italy, they said, all right, come home. The army stays, Jerry, you come home. And that was, the Rubicon was the border between his territory and the guy to the south of him, and Jerry Caesar said, nerds to you, I'm crossing the Rubicon, and here comes the revolution. So now the phrase, crossing the Rubicon, it's a metaphor, it's an idiom, which means passing the point of no return. Apparently, according to legend, Julius Caesar said the die is cast as soon as he went from one side of the Rubicon to the other. For such an important and iconic moment in history, you would think that would be a little more impressive piece of real estate, but that's it. That's the Rubicon. It ain't much, but there it is. 249 years ago, January 10, 1776, Thomas Paine publishes the famous pamphlet, Common Sense. It is a phenomenal piece of work. People bought it by as quick as they could make it. It was distributed all over the place. It was read aloud at taverns and meeting places. If you want to use this as your statistical backbone, in proportion to the population of the colonies, in January of 1776, there were about 2.5 million people who lived in the colonies, and about 2.5 million people either read it or had it read to them. So in proportion to the population, it had the largest sale and the largest circulation of any book in American history, and it's still in print today, and you should read it. Common Sense. Thomas Paine does not get nearly the credit he should for the American Revolution. He was published 249 years ago today. 124 years ago today, oil, lots of it. January 10th, 1901, the first great Texas oil gusher is discovered in Beaumont, Texas. It was called the Spindletop Gusher. It blew for 9 days at 100,000 barrels of oil per day before they could finally get a cap on it. And then here they come. The population of Beaumont, Texas at the time of this was 10,000 people lived in Beaumont before the Great Gusher. 3 months later, 50,000 people lived in Beaumont, Texas. Of course, speculation led land prices to go crazy. By the end of 1902, 2 years later, more than 500 companies had been formed. 285 wells were in operation, and a lot of people in Texas made a lot of money. They finally figured out, hey, there's a lot of oil here, and there still is. 71 years ago today, January 10th, 1954, British Overseas Flight 781, a de Havilland DH-106 Comet, explodes and falls into the Mediterranean Sea. All 35 people on board. The de Havilland, the DH-106 Comet, was the world's very first commercial jet airliner. But they made two critical errors, and they didn't really know what it was because they had 3 comets crash in a 12-month period, all from the same cause. They neglected to realize that if you constantly pressurize and depressurize the fuselage will in fact weaken over time, and they had big windows for people to look at while they were flying. But the windows were too big and they were square, not oval and small, to help the structural integrity of the airplane. After 3 of these babies went down, they finally figured out, I think we need to redesign the plane. And finally, back in 1867, the United States Congress banned public funding for a diplomatic envoy to the Vatican. We had no formal relations with the Holy See. Well, that came to an end on January 10th, 1984, 41 years ago today, when the United States and the Holy See, Vatican City, reestablished full diplomatic relations after almost 117 years, so we could go down to the Vatican City, knock on the door and say, hey, Pope, how you doing, buddy? It's me, the ambassador from the United States. Let's do some birthdays. 2 rock and roll heavenly birthdays, including the Hawk. The great Ronnie Hawkins made a lot of money and a lot of fame up in Canada, playing rock and roll. Good stuff, too. Of course, his band, the Hawks, would eventually become the band. Ronnie Hawkins never stopped rocking, never stopped rolling. Everybody loved the late, great Ronnie Hawkins. We lost Ronnie 3 years ago. He was born in the state in 1935, but the music lives on. We also lost Jim Croce, way too young. He's been gone now for over 50 years. Jim Croce, born in the state in 1943. You don't mess around with Jim. Operator, Bad Leroy Brown, Time in a Bottle, I Got a Name. The legendary Jim Croce, born in the state in 1943. A living rock and roller, Donald Fagen, one half of Steely Dan, is 77 years old today. I love Steely Dan. I have all of their albums. I have everything they've ever done, and I think a couple of things that they didn't do. Donald Fagen, 77 years old today. And everybody's favorite heavyweight champion, there he is, George Foreman. 76 years old today, the oldest heavyweight champion in history. You remember when he won it? Back in the 90s, he was like 48 or something like this. He made a lot more money on the George Foreman grill than he ever did Boxing. George Foreman has never exactly told people how much money he earned from the George Foreman grill. Salton, the company that manufactured the grill and sold the grill, paid George Foreman $138 million in 1999 for the right to use his name. Prior to that agreement, George Foreman was paid about 40% of the profits on each grill sold, which means he made about $4.5 million a month at one point. So it's estimated that he made a total of over they think he made about $225 million endorsing the George Foreman grill, which is about 10 times more than he ever made as a boxer. And of course, George Foreman has 12 children, 5 sons and 7 daughters. His 5 sons, George Jr., George III, George IV, George V, and George VI. Makes you wonder when they have big family gatherings over the holidays and George Foreman says, "George, come here," and 5 people stand up. Happy 78th, I believe, to George Foreman. Something like that. Happy birthday, George. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They're rolling out their Cash for Clunkers program. It's out there, and it's good to go. So if you have an HVAC system that just isn't doing what it's supposed to do, they don't last forever, you know. Every HVAC system has a finite lifespan. Well, today's HVAC systems are pretty damn cool. They're amazing what they can do nowadays to move the heat and air around your house. Call Alpine Air, ask about the Cash for Clunkers program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Mike McNaughty is going to talk about old friends. I think at this point in Mike's life, he's probably happy to have any friends. And then Dave Erickson, the director of the City of Wenatchee's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department, had a great conversation with me a couple of days ago at the Pybus. We'll have that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Whether you're building from the ground up or transforming your space with a custom remodel, One Way Construction is your trusted partner in creating a home that's uniquely yours. Your dream home is just a call away. Schedule your free consultation and let's build something amazing together.
Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, a client once asked me how to work on their self-esteem without relying on platitudes such as, "I am somebody," etc. You know, I said that one of the ways to look at your self-esteem is to assess my value and consider how I'm seen and valued by others. Now, I may often feel like I'm letting people down, letting some of the people who are closest to me down, but when in fact, these folks see me as someone who's very important to them. Now, for example, I have 3 good close friends I've had since high school who are intelligent, well-read, interesting guys. And I sometimes wonder, why the heck are they friends with me? Though, if you ask them, though, they'd probably tell you that I'm one of the few people in their lives they can count on 100% of the time. Someone whose friendship is a real blessing to their lives. Now, I may not always feel that way, but hey, like I said, these are intelligent men, so hey, who am I to argue with them? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Who's trying to stretch their budget this January? That's pretty much all of us. That's why Abby's is offering this giant pizza that can feed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 hungry people for less than $27. Now, that's an Abby's budget stretching deal. Worried about a no-fun January? Not at Abby's. Dine on our Bacon Cheddar Special. It's delicious and loaded with toppings and real cheese. Plus, it's on sale, and the kids can play some video games. Enjoy fun January at your local Abby's.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. It's always good to talk to Dave Erickson when Dave has something to talk about. And by golly, this morning, Dave has something to talk about. A number of topics we're going to touch on today. Dave Erickson is the director of the City of Wenatchee's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services.
Got it.
I got all that. I got all that.
After all these years, you got it.
I did. I always screwed up his title, and I don't know why. Just from an overall deal. Parks and Rec this time of the year, it's the dead of winter, or is this kind of a quiet time for you guys, or is there really no such thing as a quiet time in your department?
You know, it really depends on weather at this point, because we do a lot of snow and ice removal this time of year, so our maintenance guys are still out doing their things, as well as doing other routine things like maintenance of the equipment and getting everything ready for the season. So our guys are busy doing that, and then recreation-wise, we still have year-round programs. And we'll maybe talk about that a little bit later. But.
Yeah, Carol's also going to join us in a little while as well. Carol Andre, maybe talk about some of that cool stuff. But right out of the box, the Community Arts Support Grant Program is back. This is something that existed for a while. You had to shelve it for monetary reasons, and now it's back. Talk about this grant program. How does this work?
Yeah, so the Art Grant Support Program started in 2008. And it's an opportunity for local artists or people who are interested in providing art services to the community. And so it's a $1,000 grant. Years past, we've awarded it to a jazz workshop and other arts and rec classes and murals and drama and performances at the PAC and things like that. So we had to suspend the program in 2019. Up until 2019, because we ran out of money in the program. So we've waited for that fund to get healthy again, and now it's good, so we can offer the program up again to the community. So applications are available right now on our website, so that's wenatcheewa.gov. You can go there, fill out the application, submit it, and we will be evaluating and reviewing all those applications in February. The deadline is January 27th, though, so it's just right around the corner.
One organization is going to get one grant for $1,000, or do you split up that $1,000 in little bits, or how does that work?
Yeah, it kind of depends on who applies, and so we've done it both ways. In years past, we've done a couple of $500 grants before, or a full $1,000. It just really depends on the applications that we get in.
Give us an example of who's eligible, and from you'll be working with your commission, your specific subcommittee that handles some of your affairs. What are you guys looking for when you're looking at these grants? Who's eligible, and how do they know they have a better chance than others if they do it right?
Yeah, it's really individuals, artists, groups are eligible. We've had teachers apply before, we've had Beauty of Bronze apply before, so it's folks that are really the best ones seems to be the projects and programs that they're trying to get something off the ground. So, we need just this little bit of help to get us going, to get us over the top so we can run this program for kids or whoever.
And there's been success stories in years past.
Absolutely, yeah. Beauty of the Bronze, if you go downtown, you see the salmon mural at Centennial Park. That one was funded through this partially. There's been a whole litany of programs that have really benefited from this.
And the final decision will be made by the Parks and Rec Commission, correct?
Yes, yep. They'll be making that decision on February 18th at their meeting.
And you got a new member.
We do, yeah. Jamie Goodman will be our new member. Actually, she'll, assuming council appoints her on Thursday night.
Yeah, they're going to appoint her on Thursday night.
But she'll be our new commissioner, so happy to have her on board.
7-member commission, I believe, 1 city council member, and then the rest just community members? How does that work?
Yeah, 7-member appointed commission. 1 is a student member. So we have a student from Clementine Bellinger from Wenatchee High School who sits on the commission to provide that student perspective on things.
And it gets them involved in their community to be part of it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and they provide excellent insight into what we're doing.
It's no secret that the new Lincoln Park has been a rousing success. The folks who live in the Lincoln Park area are loving the park. When it snows, they love the hill. Mm-hmm. The significant investment of time and time, a lot of time, took a long time, and there's still some stuff to be done, and money, and yet still the issue of vandalism in the restrooms is there again. You want to address that?
Yeah, truly. I wish I didn't have to, but yeah, truly. So the community and state grants, and we put in over $3 million to improve the park, new restrooms, splash pad, play equipment, pump park, all kinds of new elements down there. And the restrooms are a continued target. So oftentimes if you go to the park and see the restrooms are closed, it's not because we're being mean, we don't want you to use them, it's because somebody has destroyed them. So this latest incident, about a month ago, I think it was, someone lit the garbage can on fire in the bathroom. And these are plastic 55-gallon garbage cans. So when that plastic burns, it goes all over everything. It coats everything in this black goo, basically. And then they also decided that the stall partitions, they didn't like those, so they kicked all those down as well. So we're in the process of trying to repair that damage. We may have to re-sheetrock the inside to get it completely back to where it was. So.
Is that something you have to go to City Council and have them appropriate the necessary funds? Is that something that you already have built into your budget for this year, knowing that this may happen?
We do have a small, I'd say small dollar amount. We do budget about $10,000 a year for vandalism repair, just because over the last few years, vandalism has just gone off the charts in all the parks, not just Lincoln Park. And so that helps cover that. But in this particular case, it's not enough for our insurance to cover for do an insurance claim. So we'll either have to just take it out of our regular operating budget between us and facilities, or we'll have to go for an actual different appropriation to get it fixed.
What's the final, I mean, could it get to the point where you're just going to say, I'm sorry, park users, we're not going to have any more public restrooms?
It could be, yeah. Actually, we're going to, if we have time at our upcoming Arts Rec and Park Commission meeting, we're going to discuss restrooms. And like right now, some of the parks, we have to leave the restrooms closed because we can't keep them open. Every single day they get vandalized. You know, they'll break the flushers, they'll light fires, they'll tag it, graffiti, knock down partitions. If it's not stainless steel bolted to the wall, they'll break it. And even in that case, they'll still break them occasionally. They've stolen heaters off the ceilings, unbolted the mirrors from the walls, broken the sinks out, plugged the toilets, you name it, they do it. So that'll be a discussion we have at the next meeting, hopefully if we have time, to see what direction do we want to go.
Well, you and I have talked about this problem, excuse me, in the past. it was usually a summertime problem. Days are longer, kids aren't going to school, they get bored, they do stupid stuff. Now it's a year-round problem.
It is, and it's really picked up the last probably 3 to 4 years. It's just gone to levels that you wouldn't really normally expect. I think it was last year or a year before. We're looking at about $130,000 to $160,000 a year we spend on just repairing vandalism, not just restrooms, but other things in the parks as well. So that's a pretty significant budget hit, when you're looking at our overall budget.
Well, maybe if that becomes the case, and you're going to have to go and say we're just going to have to close all the public restrooms in the parks, then the people in the neighborhoods where these parks are will step forward and say, these are our neighborhood parks. We want to help you out, be it Lincoln or Pennsylvania or Washington or Chase or wherever. There are neighborhood parks in the neighborhoods. It's the neighborhood people who are utilizing the parks. Maybe that'll finally push them over the edge to become more stewards of it.
Yeah, it may help. And we've done a park watch, like a block watch program before with limited success. We brought in hired security. And so we have contracted security in some places. That program, we're looking at changing that, maybe doing a park ranger program that's been talked about. And we have security cameras and have done other things like improved lighting and removed obstacles where people can hide and things like that. So we're doing all these environmental design things that we can, and still working on trying to do those other things to help limit it.
But if people are determined to destroy public city property, security cameras be damned, they're going to do it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry to bring up that.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate that.
Well, while I have you here, of course, now there's a new homeless coordinator here for the city of Wenatchee. Are you two going to be working hand in hand? Maybe with, not that the homeless are responsible for this, but you're going to be working because when the homeless people are utilizing public spaces, they're camping in your parks,
right,
which means our parks.
Yes.
So is that something you two are going to be working with together a little bit?
Yeah, Josh started. What's Josh's last name?
He knows what it is.
Yeah. So Josh started here a couple months ago, and Mathena, and we've worked very closely on patrolling the parks and working through trying to help get the people that are actually in the parks into shelters. And so he's worked several hours just on that alone, as well as looking at all the other elements to it. So it's not just individuals, it's folks in RVs, and it is the various policies and working with the service providers to help provide support to these folks. So.
And again, I don't want to cast aspersions as far as vandalizing the restrooms at the city parks. The odds are pretty good. They're not homeless people. They're just bored people with bad attitudes.
True. Yeah, it's a mix. It's people with nothing better to do, and that's just what they want to do is be destructive. So it's everything.
Anything else on your mind while I have you here, Dave? This is a rare treat. What else is happening?
A couple fun projects. So speaking of artwork, so later this summer you'll see the artwork showing up in Memorial Park at the Pasquasso Plaza project. So that's coming to an end. The artwork will be going back at Riverfront Park when the PUD is wrapping up their project down there. Also at the Convention Center. So you see artwork going back in those projects. We do have a couple other art projects that we're working on as well right now. So you see some additional artwork coming soon. We also have another project that's out to bid right now, and that's to do sidewalks at Pioneer Park. So all along Fuller Street out front of the city pool, and then also within the park itself. So hopefully we'll be awarding a bid for that here coming up in early February and see construction happening on that before the pool season starts this year. So
I talked to a couple of friends at Velocity, and they're loving the new pool.
Good.
I mean, it's essentially a new pool.
Yeah.
Who's kidding who? And that was a significant amount of time and investment, but it keeps those swim meets coming.
Absolutely.
And those swim meets are very important.
It is, yeah, two of the biggest sports tourism events in the valley. So it's not only great for the kids and everything else, but it's great for the economic benefit of the valley.
Again, we're going to wrap it up with where we started this community support grant program. It's $1,000 up for grabs. You pay for it in advance. If you get approved, you're going to pay for it in advance, and the city's going to cut you a check to offset the costs of that. It could be one, it could be 10 people getting $100 a piece. So get in your applications. Again, if you just go to the City of Wenatchee's website, if I can find it, you can find it. Trust me on that. Dave, it's good to see you, my friend.
You too, Dan.
All right. You watch Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Yeah, same to you. We'll be right back.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Let your kindness shine bright at Boswell's. This holiday season, donate $50 or more to charity and save $400 on stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans. And save $200 on any stressless recliner, home office chair, and each seat of a stressless sofa. Plus, take $200 off 4 stressless dining chairs now. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Looks like it's snowing out there at Lake Wenatchee. That was the camera that you just saw. Looks like it's snowing lightly there. We're looking for some light snow and some light rain and maybe even some light freezing rain in pockets in some locations of our viewing area. All is it possible between now and about 11 o'clock this morning. It was 30 degrees and overcast and foggy and cloudy when this show began an hour ago. It's an hour later, and it's cloudy and foggy and a little misty and still 30 degrees. There is a weather system heading our way, if it's not here already. It's not packing a big punch, and it's not going to last very long, but we're going to have kind of a weather smorgasbord today. We want to show you one more time a look-see about, from a graphical standpoint, what we're looking at there. That pinkish area that you can see, which takes up a pretty good swath of real estate, that is where we could see a little bit of light freezing rain. Nobody likes light freezing rain, but the better chance of that is actually going to be out in the Columbia Basin. Moses Lake, Quincy, Ephrata, Ritzville up north, Wilbur, Waterville, Davenport. You could all get some light freezing rain before this system passes. But again, it's very fast moving. The Cascades are going to get some snow, though. Quite a bit of snow in the mountain passes, and Mission Ridge is going to get a pretty good walloping of snow as well. Not so much down here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's going to be a little too warm for that. For one thing, the snow level right now is at 800 feet, which is about where we are, but it's going to go all the way up to 3,500 feet this afternoon. So whatever does happen, whether we get rain or snow or even freezing rain, it's not going to last very long at all. And then we're in for some nice sunny weather from the National Weather Service in detail. Again, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, maybe even some light freezing rain, all of it before the noon hour. The snow level right now is at 800 feet. It's going to go up, as I already mentioned. So clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. Wind is going to pick up a little bit as the system, tail end of the system, passes through our area, and we'll get up to 39, which is pretty warm for this time of the year. Our normal afternoon high on January 10th is 32. 29 for the overnight low. It's going to be a little windy tonight, so if you're out and about tonight, bundle up, because 29 isn't that cold, but we're talking some wind. A west wind about 10 to 20 miles an hour is possible, and of course, as you know that, when it gets cold and windy, it can just cut right through your clothes. And then Just a beautiful weekend. Saturday, lots of sunshine, 43 degrees, 29 for the overnight low on Saturday night. Couple of clouds and fog formations on Saturday night. It burns off pretty early on Sunday. We'll get it to about 42 on Sunday. High pressure is going to start building up, and it's going to be running our weather all the way through to the latter part of next week with quite a bit of sunshine, moderating temperatures, and no precipitation. That's it for us. Have a good and safe weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.